Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the pool. We just wrapped up a long course 200 pace set, which I'll flash up for you right there. And it's nice, the sun is coming out right as we're finishing. Last week, I did my first Q&A in a very long time and had a lot of requests for more. So I thought we'd do a little more of that. Question number 1 today comes to us from Dyson, who writes, as an American who has lived in multiple states, which states mean the most to you? Number 1, Nevada. I grew up in Las Vegas. Montana, that's where I was born, and that's where I spent all of my Christmases and most of my holidays growing up. And then now Indiana, which is considered my home. Namor writes, if you're eating out, where are you going? During the pandemic, Allie and I, we were ordering out a lot, and I was getting Just Wings. It's called Just Wings. Turns out it's Chili's wings. Chili's wings were, that's become one of my faves. Jamal writes, favorite subject in school, math and science. Abigail writes, if you had to live in a fictional movie, which would it be? This is an easy one. Harry Potter, obviously. Zach T writes, what are your expectations going into Olympic trials? Do you feel pressure to perform? Not really. Nope. I've gone to Olympic trials and had a crazy successful meet qualifying for the games. I've also gone to Olympic trials and failed spectacularly and not even made it back. So I feel like right now this is just like my bonus years of swimming. No pressure. Nick H writes, do you prefer morning or late afternoon swims? Easy, always morning swims. Morning swims are my favorite. Harrison writes, what would you like people to remember you for? I never think about this. I don't think it does you any good. That like really plays into the ego, and I don't think that's a good thing. So I do not think about that at all. Holland writes, what's more important in life, excitement or stability? As someone who lacked a lot of stability growing up, being ruthlessly poor, losing my home multiple times, moving around a lot, I would say stability. Don't get me wrong, I love having fun, I love excitement, I love doing crazy fun things, and having excitement in your life is very important, but for me, like safety, security, and stability, for sure. As someone who didn't have a lot of that, like that's my number 1 goal, is to provide that for my children, is stability. Juju writes, what's your favorite part of your job? Honestly, the fact that I have flexibility and freedom to kind of do whatever I want. I don't have a boss, I am my own boss. I have a handful of small businesses, and I feel very, very fortunate. I don't love it when people say #blessed, you know, that even just saying that sounds cheesy, but I feel very lucky. Simon writes, did you enjoy school growing up? No, I really did not like school growing up. For a large period of my life, I thought I was stupid because my grades were very mediocre. I didn't do well in school, and it was because I had a hard time paying attention, and I learned it's just because there were just things that I wasn't interested in. And then I learned that it's actually a skill, a valuable skill, to get good at things and be able to retain information about things that you're not interested in. That's a skill set. And it took me a while to develop that and hone in that, but no, I did not enjoy school. Christian writes, do you believe in God or a higher power? Ooh, getting deep here. Yes, I consider myself a theist, meaning there are religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism that believe in a monolithic God, like that there is one God, a God. I was raised in the Lutheran branch of Christianity. I was an altar boy, like I used to light candles and stuff when I was really, really young. My grandma played the organ at church for like 50 years. And religious history of all religions like fascinates me. Like I absolutely love that stuff. Yeah, I believe in something. I don't really know exactly what that thing is, but definitely believe in something. Lucy writes, what's the most embarrassing moment you've ever experienced? I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I was about to get on the water slide, and I was wearing swim trunks, and I was like in the seated position about to go down the slide. The overflow system where the water spews out the side, the water pressure that was spewing out to the side caught the lip of my suit, and my suit whipped down, went down the slide. The suit came down my legs, went down the slide, and I was sitting there naked. It was horrible. Surya writes, will you ever coach? I mean, I kind of coach now. Like I have my Swim to Scholarships program, which is more of a mentorship program, but there is a lot of personalized programming and training involved in that. And I do one-on-one underwater review sessions in my endless pool. Like I do, but as far as like coaching a team, maybe someday. Chandra writes, what's your biggest fear? That's an easy one. My biggest fear is failing my children. My biggest fear is not having a relationship with my kids and with my family, like letting my wife down, letting my kids down, and not providing for them, supporting them, and having the relationship that I want for them, because that's the most important thing to me. Midas writes, do you believe in ghosts? I don't not believe in ghosts, but I've never had an experience that makes me believe in ghosts. I'm fascinated by them. Allie loves ghosts. She actually took a trip to Salem, Massachusetts to go visit all the haunted sites and hopefully see a ghost. Danick writes, what's your sleep schedule? Usually in bed around 8:30, asleep by 9. I get up at about 5:30. As long as my kids don't wake me up. And I'm not much of a napper. I don't nap much unless like I have a horrible night because my kids wake me up a bunch of times and I feel like I have to. That's about it. Ellie writes, what was your first job? I was a stroke school coach as a 15, 16-year-old for the Sandpipers, the club team I grew up in Nevada. That was my first real job. Dylan writes, how long do you plan to keep making swimming content? I have no plans to stop. So, yeah. Justin writes, do you have a favorite childhood memory? I remember my dad taking me to see Spider-Man 2 opening day in like 2002. So I was 10 years old at the Suncoast Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the line out, this is before you could buy tickets in advance. You know, there was no apps for movie theaters and stuff. And the line for the movie was all the way around the casino. And I was waiting in line to buy tickets, and my dad went to the craps table and like won like $500 playing craps. And he gave me that cash. And yeah, that was just like a really special, fun experience for me. Craven writes, what's the best costume you've ever worn to a Halloween party? I don't remember how old I was, but growing up in Las Vegas, the Blue Man Group is a staple show of Vegas. And I was obsessed with the Blue Man. And so I got the Blue Man paint, like the acrylic paint that like doesn't come off, that just like spreads. And so I went as a Blue Man for Halloween, and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. Tasha writes, what's one movie you could watch every day? Easy, Ocean's 11 with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, my favorite movie of all time. Just, it's like a comfort one. Luca writes, do you recommend taking creatine monohydrate? If you are over the age of 16, yes. If you're under 16, no. Jack B writes, have you eaten Skittles since tasting the rainbow? That's a story that I tell when I swim clinics, when I talk about diet and nutrition. I'm not gonna share that. I only share that for live events. But no, I cannot eat Skittles. And maybe if you come out to a swim clinic with me or see me for a speaking event, you'll see me tell that story someday, but I cannot eat Skittles. Paul writes, if social media didn't exist, do you think you'd be a faster or a slower swimmer? That's a great question. I don't think it would have affected me much, because other than like YouTube and being able to go and watch previous world championships and Olympic races, I didn't really utilize social media to like learn swimming. But this generation now, high school age or even younger now, utilizing Instagram and TikTok and the content that's out there, it's only making people faster. You know, the information is more accessible, and that's something that did not exist when I was growing up. Man, I'm getting cold. I'm like kind of shivering. Justin, favorite capital city or country you've visited? I can't really think of a capital city. My favorite city is Las Vegas. Favorite country? If I had to choose a country to live in outside of the United States, it'd be Australia. Definitely Australia. I've been there a number of times, loved it there. Lars writes, do you prefer cooking dinner or going out to eat? I prefer going out to eat. Like I like going to restaurants and nice dinners and stuff. I like to cook, but there's only a few things that I like. I love cooking steaks. I love cooking broths. Like I like grilling things, but I don't love cooking enough to say that I'd prefer that. But you know, I do like cooking. Tucker writes, what's the first thing you do in the morning? This is easy. Drink water. I have a water bottle right beside my bed. Always drink water the moment I get up in the morning. Start hydrating. Okay, last question, because I am getting cold. It rained here yesterday, so the water temp dropped a lot. It's substantial. And our last question comes to us from Justin, who asks, do you consider yourself a people pleaser? No, I do not. When I hear the phrase people pleaser, I think of someone who can't say no to people, someone who, like if you're out at a restaurant and the waiter brings you the wrong meal, you don't send it back. I'm not that kind of person. I'll tell you when something's wrong. You don't have to like me. I don't have to make you happy. I like helping people. I want people to enjoy being around me. I want to be a pleasant person to be around, but I would not consider myself a people pleaser. I think I'm a little more stern than that. Although I do think I'm a friendly person. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps up. Thank you all for joining me today. We have the Indy Cup meet in just a few days. That'll be our last competition before Olympic trials, so we're getting tuned up for that, which is very exciting. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down there below. More questions for the next Q&A. Click the like button. That would really help me. If you'd like a personalized video from me to you or someone you know, for whatever reason, I am available on Cameo. Until my next video, I will see you all later.